Hey there, friend. Welcome back to another edition of Premier Investments in Wealth Management. My name is Doug Wagner, your host, and I want you to ask yourself a question. If you're ready for retirement, there's a lot of people who maybe they think they are, but when they actually sit down and sort of examine things, they find out that maybe they're not. There are a lot of people who've tied their retirement to some number that they just pulled out of thin air, like $1 million or $1.25 million, $1.5 million. What if I could show you a way that you could actually find out if you're ready for retirement, or maybe even when you might be ready for retirement? Premier Investments and Wealth Management website at premieriwm.com. Click Get Started, then just answer a few questions. They'll provide for you a one-page Premier Vision document. You'll hear us talk more about that throughout the program today. What it was is a roadmap for your financial future so that you can get ready for anything, whether it's retirement, your children's education cost, maybe you've got a dream purchase in the future that you want to make sure that you have the right money in the right bucket so you can use it at the right time without getting penalized. Premier Investments and Wealth Management, they're here to help you out. They'll sit down with you, a free meeting. On top of that Premier Vision document as well. They'll come to you. You can come to them. They'll do it over the internet as well. premieriwm.com. Click Get Started, answer those questions, and get that Premier Vision document. Or if you want to make the phone call, you can make your appointment today. 800-383-6590. That's 800-383-6590. Premier Investments in Wealth Management, named a Forbes 2026 Best in State Wealth Management Team. Elias Randel is a vice president. He's a wealth advisor at Premier Investments in Wealth Management. He's also a certified exit planning advisor, and he is the new sheriff in town. Good to see you again, Elias. How are you?
Howdy, Doug.
Howdy, Sheriff. Love that. That was good. It was right in keeping with it.
Good to hear. Happy to be here. Excited to do another show.
Get a star and put on there. That'd be kind of fun.
That's what I need.
Exactly. Roger Abel's president of Premier Investments in Wealth Management. He's a wealth advisor, a certified exit planning advisor, accredited investment fiduciary as well. He's got over 22 years of experience in the investment industry, and Roger was named to Forbes 2026 Best in State Wealth Advisors. Around here, he was named Big Kahuna. That's Roger Abel right over there. Hey, Roger.
How you doing, Doug?
Doing fabulously. I'm looking forward to another wonderful show. Thanks for letting me sit in with the band on it's the Behind the Wealth team. So I'm between the wealth. Well, I'm on the other side of the wealth. If I was sitting there, I'd be between the wealth.
You're not part of the club yet.
Oh.
You're working at it.
Thanks for introducing me first, because it's better to just be the new sheriff, because then the follow-up is, what, all his stuff? Best player on the best team? Oh, my goodness. Glad I don't have to follow that.
All the superlatives. It's tough. It's like...
I understand. It is a tough road.
It's tough being you when
It's tough
Roger's
keeping
right
up, bud.
there.
It's tough sitting by me.
It's a hard path.
It's tough being me when I'm next to you two.
I bet.
For Lord's sake, no, because I'm not in the club. I can't even see the club from where I am.
Give her another decade, Doug.
Here we go.
Roger, let's go to the first question for you from Ethan. Is it a bad idea to invest medium-term money? My wife and I put cash aside for large future purchases like cars. We buy one car every 5 to 6 years, so keeping those funds in cash for that long seems like a missed opportunity. Should we be investing those funds until we need them?
Pretty good question. 5 years is kind of right there on the edge of whether you're starting to eliminate some luck from the market.
It is medium-term money.
It is medium-term. Here's what I would say. It probably depends upon how flexible your timeline is. And what I mean by that is before the show started, I went back and said, what's the worst 5-year rolling period of time for the stock market? And it's minus 6% a year. So that's 30%.
Okay.
If you stretch it out to 7 years, you get to minus 21 total, 3% a year.
Oh.
So if this is car money and you say, hey, I just have to invest it, you have to be willing to be flexible and say, hey, if the market is down 25 or 30%, the year I need to buy this car, I'm going to have to be willing to wait and let it come back. If you can't do that, then you can't invest this money. Okay. The other thing is, I think you should look at, in today's world of investing, it doesn't have to be all or none. It doesn't have to all be stock market money.
Yeah.
You can go get really good cash alternative rates in the 4.5% range. There's nothing really wrong with 4.5% for money you know you're going to need in 5 years. So this is really a story of flexibility and less about, hey, you can't do it. If you told me 1 year, yeah, that needs to go into some cash alternative product.
Right.
But 5 years, you're right on the edge. Historic average is about 10. The best is 30%. The worst is minus 6% a year. So this is really some personal preference here. And there might even be some products you could utilize that help manage some of that volatility. If you work with an advisor, they probably can figure out a way to put that money to work, not just sit there in a savings account. Worst case scenario, you buy, some really high yielding cash alternative for this money.
Right.
But it's not an all or none. I think it's a story of flexibility. The more flexible you can be, can you wait 2 years on that car? If you can, then yeah, you're probably okay investing some of this money.
I've heard you guys talk about the bucket strategy before. Is this something that fits in with that, or is that with the distributions and stuff like that?
We primarily use the bucket strategy more for distributions. Okay. This is more about, hey, they basically have a sinking fund.
Yeah.
For a car purchase. That's what they have. Right. They're putting money, they're making a car payment to themselves.
Yeah.
So you could invest this. The problem you run into is if you're doing it every month, right? The last 12 months, that money only has a 1 year time horizon.
Yeah.
So that's why for most people, it is best to keep this in relatively liquid short-term assets unless you have the ability to be flexible in how you take it and you're willing to wait to make the purchase.
Makes sense. If you go to Premier Investments and Wealth Management website, you can find out a little bit more about their attitudes about this and how they might be able to help you. Again, if you have a financial or a wealth advisor that can work with you on planning, may be able to do a little bit better. And it's never bad to have somebody else on your side as well. PremierIWM.com. You can make your appointment online, or you can call Ethan, 800-383-6590. Elias, next question for you from Janice. Last year, I was laid off unexpectedly. Thankfully, I found another job quickly, but it made me realize how unprepared I was. What can I be doing now to better prepare for financial setbacks in the future?
Sounds like a good way to learn this lesson of being unprepared, as it really was not that impactful. But some things that you could do to be more prepared. And I think this is a great time to, anytime you have some sort of setback or potential setback, it's a good time to reevaluate, how could I be more prepared for this situation? First thing, emergency fund. How boring does that sound? Every time I say it, it just gets even more and more boring to talk
I zoned
about.
out right before you said it.
Key cornerstone of retirement planning.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah.
Yep. So the emergency fund, and I know that it's not the most exciting part of your financial picture. And, what is it going to be? 3 months worth of cash, 6 months worth of cash and expenses? However you define it, you need to define it, and you need to have an emergency fund, and it needs to be there for these situations. I think next you could look at your monthly expenses. So the first place my mind goes is debt. What do you have for debt? What are you doing to get that debt paid off? The more, in finance, we call it free cash flow. So the more money coming in, less money going out means more flexibility for your finances, which makes, when you have more flexibility, you can be more nimble and you can solve these problems as they arise, or these situations as they arise. And the last thing I would do is understand that financial resilience isn't about preventing all the setbacks, but it's creating enough flexibility and executing a strategy that puts you in a position to overcome an inconvenience. If your inconvenience turns into a crisis, now I have a problem.
Yeah.
But even though it's unexpected, getting laid off is a predictable event at times. It could be expected, but if you're prepared for it, it could be treated as a predictable event, and you could get through it relatively smoothly.
It's interesting when I was reading through this and I started thinking about this, all the different things that may go along with it as well. If you're carrying debt and it's time to start paying that off, maybe she's got a significant amount of debt, because there are a lot of people who, even though, and just because the way the inflation has hit so hard, is that they've been consistently paying more and more through credit rather than cash or cash equivalents.
Yeah, I see it. I see it all the time. just the other day, had a meeting where families doing a good job of being good long-term savers, but they just have too much consumer debt. They're nickel and diming their situation. So when you look at their total picture, they're really on track for long-term goals. But then the husband, he gets all this anxiety when he has to use money from his savings account to cover monthly expenses. Well, then you start to add up the monthly expenditures, side-by-side payment, vehicle payment, mortgage, 0% interest furniture.
Yeah.
The Amazon truck, they got a little boy,
Oh,
little
dude, don't
1.5-year-old.
even start with me in that one.
Right. So the Amazon truck stopping by every day. Their student
Parked
loans.
out front. They just drop it off in there. It's parked
Yeah.
there. They just drop off the packages and he just walks them in.
Right.
It's got a little kitchenette in there.
So student loans and all this stuff, and really both husband and wife, both working, both good jobs, making good income. So it's not really, this situation wasn't a product of you're not doing the right things. You are doing the right things. It's really more of a product of you have too much monthly outflow all the time on stuff that doesn't matter. I mean, you probably got some nice furniture and it was 0%. Could you have kept your free furniture for a little bit longer, right? Paid something else off and then got into that. And like, that's where their situation isn't being derailed by their savings habits. Their situation's being derailed by just nickel and diming these expenses that makes it too stressful in the short term to get through.
It's funny because somebody keeps on chirping in my ear, maybe you need a new car. Isn't it time for you to get up in a new car? And I'm like, I've got a black sedan that doesn't have a scratch on it.
Who's chirping in your ear? The car salesman?
No.
I know who.
Yeah, you need a different car.
Who's buying?
Yeah, I know. I know. I got after that car, literally just paid it off. So it's like, that's great. I'm taking that money and I'm sinking it back into the next one. So,
Well, plus you bought a quality vehicle.
Yeah.
So you buy a quality vehicle with the intent on keeping it.
Yeah.
If you want a
I thought you
cheap
pay
vehicle,
them off and then you get another payment. Isn't that the way to do it?
no, that's not the way to do it.
Oh, you're saying you should get another car? Amazing.
No, that's not the way to do that. So this is funny because this is the kind of thing that you're talking about, that you're thinking about with your question there, Janet. And congratulations on being able to bounce back so effectively and so quickly on that. There are a lot of folks who may not be able to do that because they're not set up. If you work with my friends at Premier Investments in Wealth Management, they can help get you set up, because it doesn't matter whether you're 25 or 45. A financial emergency could happen. And the better prepared you are, the more resilient you can be, and the less impact it can have on your day-to-day life. Go to premieriwm.com. They've got all sorts of downloadable content there for you to read through and study up on. Or you can just make the appointment online at the website or call 800-383-6590. Premier Investments in Wealth Management, named to Forbes 2026 Best in State Wealth Management Team.
I got one more observation about that. We were talking. You were talking about, hey, maybe you get another car payment. I think you just said that as a joke.
Yeah.
I do have an observation about people who were in debt and people who got out of debt. I feel like it's easier for people who are in debt to just keep taking more because they don't really see the light at the end of the tunnel. Right. Well, I've already got this car payment. What's another 200? Like they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But once they get there, to your point, you're like, oh no, I'm out of debt now. I'm not going back. I feel like it's actually harder to borrow money once you get out of debt versus when you're in debt. And I don't know if it's psychological shift, like, man, I did it, I'm not going back there. Or it's just, hey, I'm already in debt, whatever. It's just easy to stay here and keep rolling the money and keeping the payment and all those different things.
When you're just used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully when you get out, you kind of have a sense of relief and you feel more flexibility and you just feel less constrained, and hopefully you like that.
You get those, pheromones, that endorphins or whatever. That's like, you just, hey, I get off on being out of debt and I want to stay out of it, and I want to continue to work my way the opposite direction.
Makes life pretty easy.
It can. Premier Investments in Wealth Management at premieriwm.com. Question for both of you from Thomas. My wife and I are planning to retire within the next couple of years. We're starting to think about what we want retirement to look like. We've talked about buying an RV, possibly a vacation property, and doing some of the things we've put off while working. The reason I'm hesitant is because I've watched several neighbors retire and immediately make big purchases like boats, RVs, and second homes. A few years later, many of them were selling those same things because they weren't using them as much as they expected or found they weren't a good fit for their lifestyle. Has me wondering if there's a better approach. Should retirees give themselves time to settle into retirement before making major purchases? How do you figure out what you'll actually enjoy versus what just sounds good while you're still working? A lot in here to unpack.
I think this is a great observation from Thomas because he is absolutely right. There are people that make these big purchases and then 12, 24, 36 months later selling the stuff. Now, the other side of that, there are people, especially with their recreational vehicles, the RVs, there are fairly nice sized communities of people that really enjoy that and do it. I think if that's you, you'd already be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Roger, you're a good example. How old were you when you bought your first boat?
19.
19. You are a boater, right? You're not someone who thinks, oh, when I retire, I'd like to start boating.
I bought my current boat because I know when I'm retired, I won't have this boat.
There you go.
Well, that's how he started. I was 19 years old. He was Captain Roger. Now he's a big kahuna because he's just boat.
Yeah, break out another 1,000.
Exactly.
And I'm okay with it. It's a lot of fun.
But on the other hand, you're a good example too, Mr. Fifth Wheel.
Yeah, that was, what was that a story a couple years ago?
Yeah.
I thought.
You were talking
See, I was like the opposite of him. I thought, for whatever reason in my mind, I used to think I would like to have a fifth wheel camper, and I don't even like camping. So
You just wanted a big
it was
truck.
one of those weird, and I think I had a situation with a client like this where then I realized, yeah, I think that way too, which is silly because I don't even like to do that activity, but I thought that would be something I would like to do. So Thomas, here's what I would look at and think about: short-term rentals and hotels. For the money you could put into RVs and things like that, you can buy a lot of short-term rental, a lot of hotels. Don't have to worry about any upkeep. Don't have to worry about any maintenance. You have flexibility. You can go, essentially now, you can go anywhere in the country.
Right. Oh, but North America. I mean,
Right. You can go anywhere. And, okay, if you go to book, okay, maybe there's a place you want to go in 12 months from now. They don't have any availability. Well, maybe 36 months from now, they do. But there's so much flexibility now with people and the way they travel. I would say a lot of families that used to have a second home now are opting more for short-term rentals. And I totally get why. No maintenance. You don't have to worry about it. You're only paying for it when you're there. Now, the time you're there is more expensive, but still, an RV, can't you buy RVs on like 15-year mortgages pretty much?
Yeah, I think what you're kind of alluding to too is we talk to people about this exact thing all the time, especially if it's new going into retirement. Just test drive it first. If you think an RV's for you, just go rent one for 3 months and live out of it.
Yeah.
See how you feel. I've had a couple of clients who've done this. I had some clients who went to Arizona, bought a house, decided the house wasn't for them. They bought an RV to go to the RV park in Arizona, decided that wasn't for them. And now they're back in a house. But it's okay. Like, they're working it out, but it would have been easier to just kind of rent one for a year. And, here's the one thing I caution people on, though, is delaying, because delaying it also becomes a problem because you only have so many good years.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
If you're turning retirement, you're like, oh, we'll just wait 3 years. If you wait 3 years, you're not going to do it.
Right.
So I think, to Elias's point, go test drive this for a while. If you think Florida's for you, go down there for 4 months.
Yeah.
See what it's like. I always thought Florida's for me. No, it's too buggy. Florida's not my jam. Arizona, not very many bugs, no rain, no humidity. Pretty awesome.
Better than California for the price point too.
I really like Palm Springs, California. It's just too hard to get there.
Yeah.
It is. It's too many flights to get there.
Right.
Arizona's a direct flight. So those are all things you should be thinking about, right? Like, what's the transportation to get here?
Yeah.
How am I going to get around? What's living here like? And it's different until you settle in and do this.
And it's interesting because we went to Key West a couple of years back, and you get down there. It's wonderful. It's a beautiful place, but you find out very quickly that a 900 square foot house is over $250,000. And that's just insane.
And that's not on the water.
No, that's not. That's just like on a block somewhere in the middle of town. And I mean, to drive into park somewhere, even if you're a citizen there, it's like we went out for breakfast. Breakfast was $85 for two. Parking was $110 for 4 hours. Because we did this.
You need a bike.
Yeah, I know. I was like, all right, next time we've got a better feel. But this sort of gets back to what you were talking about. I heard you talk about a long time ago, and you still do this, is what does your first year of retirement look like? You sit down with the clients and have them imagine what and you can whiteboard it too.
Yeah.
What is the first year retirement?
If you're planning on doing things you've never done in retirement, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. But I see more failures with that than successes.
Yeah.
I do. Like, oh, we're going to go do this. I had a client bought a fifth wheel, bought a big diesel truck to drive around the country. She did it for 1 year. She sold everything, house, everything. Year later, she got a house again.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I'm moving every 30 days. Wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But, it all sounds good on paper and in your mind, like Elias buying the fifth wheel, you build it up. Yeah, that'd be cool. And then you get it. And it's just not as much fun as you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, retiring out of the cruise ship, maybe not the best thing to do.
Yeah, just go for 3 weeks, call it good.
I know. I've met people who actually, they've retired on the cruise ships, and they were just like, it was very interesting.
Did they like it?
She loved it. He was disinterested. He just... He was fine that he had the freedom to do what he wanted on the boat, where he wanted. He could just like go and work out, go and play cards, go to the bar. I mean, there was the hilarious, and they've got doctors on there too. So
that seems like a small space though. How long were they on this boat?
They spend the year on it.
Do they flip different boats or the same boat?
They do different boats. They will go because they'll do Atlantic and then they'll do Pacific and then they'll do like Alaska and they'll do the Caribbean and stuff.
So they get a change of scenery between. Yeah. So different boats, different restaurants, different bars, different people.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I can't even imagine being.
Hopefully he likes talking to strangers a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You meet plenty of them on there too. So this is interesting because when you sit down with my friends at Premier Investments in Wealth Management, they bring not only their experience, but the experience of the other clients that they work with to you on a regular basis. And just like you, they're not going to name names, but they have a feeling for what's going on. And maybe you're a little bit like a client that they have, but not so much. So your financial plan is going to be designed for you. It's like your own little fingerprint. PremierIWM.com. Click Get Started. Answer a few questions. They'll provide for you that one-page Premier Vision document, any free consultation to go with it. That meeting can be at the coffee shop, at your house. It could be here in the office. It could be over Zoom or whatever. However you want to do it, they are here to help you get to your financial future. That Premier Vision document is one of the keys of doing so. Also, your input, because it's all about you. PremierIWM.com. Make that appointment online or call 800-383-6590 for Premier Investments in Wealth Management, named to Forbes 2026 Best in State Wealth Management Teams. Roger, Michael has a question. I'm 58 years old. I'm hoping to retire at 62. I spent years saving and investing, and on paper it looks like I'm on track, but the closer the retirement gets, the more I worry about things and I might be overlooking. Everyone talks about how much money you need to retire, but what are the biggest mistakes people make when they try to retire before age 65? Is 65 a magic number?
65 is not a magic number.
Okay.
It's only a magic number for one thing we'll discuss. Michael, I think this is actually one of the biggest mistakes people make. It's one of the reasons people work with advisors. They hire advisors to find out what they're missing, find any holes in their plan, and then figure out how to, fill those gaps through that financial plan. But here's three of the things that I think people most commonly overlook. And mostly because when we talk about retirement, it's primarily about, do I have enough money? And money is just a small portion of retirement. I think the first thing people overlook is, we talked about earlier, what does my first year of retirement look like? How am I going to spend my time? You can retire with all the money in the world, but if you have no purpose, you may massively struggle with this transition from working to retirement. That's one. Two, many people overlook healthcare. So if you're at home and you haven't done a financial plan, you're looking on paper saying, well, we spend $7,000 a month. Yeah, it looks like I can get $7,000 a month for my $1.5 million or whatever the numbers are. Yeah, looks like we'll get it. Well, at 62, for a husband and wife, your healthcare, you're probably $1,700 or $1,800 a month. How are you going to fill that gap? And then the healthcare doesn't stop when you turn 65. It's a different type of premium. And then you go on to Medicare, which you asked, is that the magic number?
Okay.
It's only the magic number for Medicare insurance. And people think it's free. It's not free. There's still premiums associated with Medicare. And then another one that they really overlook is, when are we going to claim Social Security? Many people overlook this, and it's an afterthought. I'm taking it at 62 to get every dollar I can out. That's not always the mature way to do it. Your Social Security strategy should be just that, a strategy. It shouldn't just be, well, somebody told me to take it at 62, or somebody said wait till 67. You could massively be missing out on protecting your spouse or maximizing your family benefits if your strategy is just one of hit it at 62 and call it good.
Okay. Is Medicare, is that whatever the premiums may be, is that contingent on adjusted gross income before taxes or after taxes? Or
it's modified adjusted gross income up to $206,000 before you start to pay more. So actually, it might be indexed for inflation. It's 210 this year, I think. Okay, that's called the IRMA tax. So if you're in over 210,000, your premiums will start to go up. Okay, and it's really one of the more complicated parts of a distribution strategy.
That's why you need the professionals of Premier Investments and Wealth Management.
Okay, if all your money's in an IRA, well, you don't have any choice. Yeah. But if you have a Roth IRA and you have non-retirement dollars and you have an IRA and you have a bank account, you have choices, and those choices might allow you to stay under this IRMA tax rate that if you didn't have choices, you couldn't. And a lot of people don't even realize that's happening. In fact, we've had clients who go meet with their CPA. CPA lays out this big, conversion strategy, but guess what they don't factor in? The IRMA tax. They don't factor in the increase in Medicare premiums. I'm yet to get one back from a CPA. And I've seen some really long, lengthy ones that says, oh, by the way, your Medicare premium is going from this to this. It's all just purely around the tax strategy, which most of the time that tax strategy makes sense for people. But I can tell you what people don't like. They don't like paying more for Medicare, regardless of how good the tax strategy is.
Well,
and it's psychological.
The kick with Medicare is it comes 2 years later, too.
Yeah.
So it
takes 2 years to unwind
it. So you do it, and then 2 years down the road, your premiums go up, and you ask why. And they go, well, it's based on your income from 2 years ago. So it's kind of people get caught off guard by that.
Well, and that's the whole thing, is that you don't want to be caught off guard. Look, there's a lot of really good stuff at premieriwm.com. You can download it, you can run through, including the 10 critical steps to take before retirement. Great. While you're there, just make the appointment, Michael. Just sit down with my friends from Premier Investments and Wealth Management, talk through this whole thing, because you are going to have a different situation than everybody else, any one of their clients, than anybody you know, and they can help tailor it to your needs and make sure that, number one, you don't get snake bit, number two, you don't get surprised. So whatever it is, Premier Investments and Wealth Management, premieriwm.com, 800-383-6590. Elias, question for you from Elena. I've been trying to follow a popular process for getting finances on track. I'm currently on the step of building my 6-month emergency fund. Seems like every time I get close to the finish line, something happens. I need to tap into the emergency fund, so I never get to move on to the next step, which involves investing more. Feel at this rate, if I don't start investing, I'll be massively behind. What are your thoughts on pausing my emergency fund goal to focus on investing?
Sounds like your emergency fund is working the way it's supposed to. So I don't know that I would pause that. And I don't know that it's good to think about your financial planning in such concrete steps. You really have to be able to prioritize competing priorities when you're dealing with personal finance. So some questions you could ask. What is causing you to tap into the emergency fund? So let's first define, Elena, are these real emergencies, right? Or are you using it out of convenience? Which, because she doesn't allude to what she's actually spending it on. So if you're worried that you're not doing it right, that'd be a basic question. Well, what type of emergency is this? What are you using it for? The other thing I would mention is you're never going to be perfect. Life is not perfect. Things aren't going to happen in the perfect order. So I think from this, I do think that your emergency fund is working. Hopefully you can get over the hump and get to the point where you're saving what you've set out your target savings rate to be. But even when you do that, that doesn't mean you're not going to have an unexpected expense. Maybe you get where you want to go and then you save what you want to save for 8 months and you have an emergency come up and you kind of got to start over again. That's okay. Just keep chipping away at it. Keep working at it. And eventually it's all going to fall in line. So I share with people all the time, especially young clients, there's not a perfect plan out there, but there is execution. Because if I give you, Doug, if I say, Doug, this is the perfect financial plan for you, but you don't execute it, well, what does it matter?
No, you're right. It doesn't.
It wouldn't matter at that point. So, and how old she is? She must be younger, because this is so common, especially for younger people. We've all been there where, I can remember being in my 20s. I used to do a budget on a notepad, and it was like I had to figure out how I could make $85 last for 2 weeks until I got my next paycheck type budgeting. Yeah. Right. So she's probably in a similar situation.
How many bags of ramen noodles do I need this year? You used to be able to buy macaroni and cheese for 19 cents.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. When I was 22, you could eat pretty good on less, but with all this inflation now,
when I was in college, I lived on venison.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'd go hunting my grandma's, and they had a place to process it. My grocery expense was almost zero.
Yeah.
Bar tab, maybe not, but that grocery expense was down.
Yeah.
I ate a lot of.
The grocery bill was low. The hunting bill was not.
Yeah. Grandma helped. I had a lot of Philly cheesesteak sandwiches made with that.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good staple. Onions, peppers, and
mine was like the bakery dollar store bread and cream of mushroom soup. Cold or warm?
Now, I did live in Iowa City, home of the $5 pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Home team pizza, $5 delivered.
What were you having?
Bread and cream of mushroom soup.
And you dip it in there?
Yeah.
I bet that's
like
good.
bread and gravy.
Did you put
the
butter
greatest
on
thing
it?
Ever.
No.
I might make that
Butter
tonight.
Go get a little thing.
That actually sounds really good.
Packet of gravy mix.
Yeah.
Make the gravy, pour it over the bread. Dude, it's so good.
Oh yeah, I'll make
that is too good.
on the weekends. I'll make biscuits and gravy.
Oh yeah,
it's one of my favorite meals.
Well, my grandma passed away recently, and I was reminiscing over traditions of grandma's, and that's where we always went hunting for the whole weekend. So my cousin and I would show up on Friday night. Friday night would be Kentucky Fried Chicken, mashed potatoes and gravy, or grandma would make mashed potatoes and gravy because that was gearing up for the next day.
Yeah.
Lunch the next day would be bread and gravy. That was the break in between hunting. We'd do bread and gravy. That was my cousin and I's favorite thing to have.
Yeah.
And then dinner would be Pizza Hut, filled with lots of Sprites and mini Snickers.
Yes.
We ate the same thing every weekend for like 4 months. It was the same routine every weekend, but it was a fun routine.
That's
cool.
But
you brought up what you're eating. Like, oh man, it brings me back bread and gravy every Saturday.
Yeah. Bread and gravy. That was, it was a regular thing. It was like in every once in a while you had to like make something for a date or something like that to be fancy. So
you fancied up bread and gravy for a date?
No, I made homemade. I learned homemade mac and cheese.
That can be really good.
Homemade mac and cheese, zhuzhed up. So yeah.
Did that seal the deal?
When does it not? You find me a young lady who Cannot deal with a nice homemade mac and cheese and a Parmesan dry white wine.
Oh boy, we got the big words coming out. Doug, I remember the first time I ever met you.
Yeah?
You were super excited. We were at Jeff had a Christmas party.
Oh, yeah.
And there was some like special ham, and Doug's like, we were doing the gift exchange. He's like,
It's
I brought
prosciutto.
this. It was some wine. I thought it was like Iberico or something. It was something.
Iberico ham.
It was
Yeah,
something
Iberico ham.
He was like, "Oh, you don't know what this is?" I'm like, "Dude, I have no idea, but apparently it's good."
Yeah, Iberico ham.
I didn't win the
It's
prize.
It's a Spanish ham. It's a Spanish pig, and Iberico. Yeah, so
I actually watched. I know we're totally off track. I watched a video the other day on a Iberico ham, and they were, where's it from? Like Brazil, Spain.
yeah,
Did the guy have like literally $70 million
yeah.
in his like walk-in?
Yeah, it's just an open air thing, and it's just hanging
$70
there.
million worth of ham.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How?
Some of it's been aged for like 12 years and
Yeah.
people pay like crazy amounts of money for it. It was wild. He's
Thousands
like,
of
I just
dollars
won't
for it.
sell it to anybody. They have to appreciate it.
Yeah.
The guy's like, if I gave you $1 million, you wouldn't take it. He goes, no.
Yeah.
You have to appreciate it. And people fly their own plane there, and it's like some wild deal.
Yeah, they walk through and they sort of look and they see, and then you can see because it's got the outside. It's 'cause
White
it's been
mold.
It's in a
Do you think he likes the Walmart boiled ham?
no.
No,
That was a joke.
Shut your mouth.
don't disrespect the ham that way.
Exactly.
Maybe we
I'm
went
all-
off the rails with this. All right.
There we go. Thank you very much, Elena, for the question.
This will
and
lead
helping
into
us get
question number 6.
I know.
Buying a
This
Iberico
is
ham.
great, though, because this is the thing I think people listen to and watch the show for, because it's not just boring, okay? If you want excitement in your finances, get it from this show and having a laugh with us every once in a while here in Premier Investments and Wealth Management and the Financial Program. You can go to premieriwm.com. You can get all the downloadable stuff, including podcasts, including video reels, including Behind the Wealth, their video, the podcast that they do. You can make your appointment online at premieriwm.com or call 800-383-6590. Premier Investments in Wealth Management, named Forbes 2026 Best in State Wealth Management Teams. Teresa wants to know, what's the biggest financial mistake you've seen people make in their first year of retirement? Very concise question.
Should we, what, portfolio mistake or just in general?
Mistake in general. Biggest financial mistake.
Biggest financial mistake.
Yeah, so something having to do with their money, finances, whether it's income, outflow, investments, the financial portion of it.
So I'll take this one from like portfolio construction perspective. I think one of the biggest mistakes people make as they enter into the first year of retirement is they don't prepare their investment strategy to transition to the income phase of their investing journey, which can lead to a few things. It can lead to maybe the market not being so great when you are ready to sell some investments and take money out. So I think lack of preparation to what we call the liquid bucket, meaning getting enough cash available for your withdrawals.
Yeah.
I think that's a very blocking and tackling 101 thing to execute that do-it-yourself investor, someone not working with a professional office will overlook. And then from a personal planning perspective, we've been touching on this show and the last show, no vision for what retirement looks like.
Yeah.
The money and the money and all that, that's part, we can help you with that.
Yeah.
That's not that hard. But getting to retirement and really having no idea what you're going to spend your time doing, it sets you up for lack of health in general, physical and mental health.
Yeah.
You need to be busy. You need to have purpose. Maybe busy is not the right word, but you need to have purpose.
Yeah.
And things that keep you fulfilled and things that keep you going. So I would, from a portfolio construction, unprepared for withdrawals, but then from a personal, just overall living, no vision for
And that
what
can
you're going to
translate
do.
into financial, like you were talking about, because you're bereft of spiritual, emotional, and your needs are not being fulfilled. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
then you
something
start
that's
making weird
critical.
decisions.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Decisions that aren't really in your best interest.
Right. And that's why it's nice to have a financial person in your corner, a wealth advisor like the folks at Premier Investments and Wealth Management. Roger, curious what you're looking at as far as a financial story, the biggest financial mistake you've seen people make in their first year of retirement.
Spending too much. I've seen it a lot. People retire and they have a big bucket of money, $1 million, $2, $3 million bucks. And it's almost like they've given themselves permission to spend like they've never spent before.
Yeah.
They buy a car, they buy a Jeep, they buy a boat, they buy an RV, they got a new house. The next thing you know, they're through 800,000 and they never made more than 150,000 their whole life. And I've seen this multiple times where people retire and they just have zero self-restraint once they get into that account.
But their financial plan should have this is how much I'm able.
Oh, we can lay out the greatest financial plan in the world, but I still can't stop how they spend it. And then we have what's called
the talk.
There you go.
But Doug, here's the bad news. We can't tell people no.
Well, you can. Okay.
We guide them.
I can get, if you call and you ask me to take all of your money out, I can give you advice on why that would be not a great thing and in your best interest. But if you say, well, it's my money, I want it, I have no choice. We can't deny people's withdrawal requests.
No, you're right.
And we have people all the time ask, hey, if I'm overspending, will you let me know? And the answer is yes. Like maybe not the first time, but if it becomes a habit, and Elias had an individual who came in here and before they came in, they go, are we going to get the talk? Elias said, I'm pretty sure you're getting the talk. And you know what? We couldn't stop them.
Right.
And this is a real life scenario. They went through about $1 million in about 5 years and they'd never made that. But when we did their financial plan, they had a farm that they never wanted to sell. She'd inherited, didn't want to sell it.
Right.
And, they were in their middle, late 70s. And I said, hey, they came in for the meeting. We had the talk. I said, hey, what you're doing is not sustainable.
Yeah.
And they're like, we know it's not sustainable, but we're doing all this stuff with our grandkids. We're creating these memories. Like, we just want to keep living how we're living. I said, fair enough. I said, are you prepared to sell the farm? Because that's going to buy you some more years.
Yeah.
Sure enough, she said, yeah, we're prepared to sell the farm.
Oh.
She said, do me a favor, when we're 6 months from the point we need the money, let me know. 6 months came. They already had the farm up for auction. It was already ready to go. And they ended up, they went through all their money, but at the end of the day, they enjoyed it in the best years.
Right.
They still have a little bit of income.
Yeah.
But those are the cases we can't help. Like their financial plan, there was never a year they said, we're going to spend $300,000.
Yeah.
Right? They're, oh yeah, we're going to spend $120,000 a year. Well, what people don't realize about overspending way outside the plan, without discussing it and just doing it, it's a snowball effect because now you owe more in tax. Oh man, now we have a tax problem because we didn't withhold enough tax because you weren't planning on taking out $300,000.
Right.
So now tax time comes out, need another 60. That makes that year. It's just a snowball effect to the negative. It's the number one most dangerous thing I see people do without having a plan for. Conversely, I have some clients that work in Missouri. Hey, year one in retirement, we want to pay off our house and we're going to buy an RV. Perfect. Let's put a plan together for it and make sure it works. Get the money out in concert with your values and all those things that are important to you. It'll work out. But when people don't plan for it and they just start spending, bad things can happen.
I would say, in general, if you are retired and you have a year where 1 year could be a non-event, but sometimes when you see people consistent years in a row, you're taking out more money than you ever made combined income in your house. It might be a red flag.
Yeah. And that's
how are you now? Like, how do you need this much now?
Yeah.
You never needed this much.
Right. And that's one of the things you all talk about is that typically you have people that maybe the amount of money they consume from or they spend goes down as they go into retirement, maybe because they're doing maybe a little bit less. They're not consuming as much as they otherwise would because they're not going and do the things of day-to-day life. But the final thing before we move on to the next question I'm going to say is that I've noticed in seeing the interactions that you have with your clients, it's really remarkable, is that they see you as trusted confidants as well. They see you as people. They don't want to hide from you because they're afraid of you. They don't want to not hear from you because they think you're full of hot air. They understand the role that you play, and you make it very clear with them what role you have with them. And they see you as a trusted confidant, somebody that they can come to with all sorts of questions. And sometimes it's more than money. It's about the way you live your life and your lifestyle, and they can help you figure that out, whether you're well before retirement or you're into retirement. Premier Investments and Wealth Management at 800-383-6590. Cole asks, Roger, my parents set up power of attorney for me so I can help with their finances when the time comes. They've worked with the same financial advisor for years. I'm wondering when we should provide the POA documents to their advisor. It's better to get them set up right now or wait until something comes up and I need to act on their behalf. I don't want them to feel like I'm trying to take control of things before they're ready, but I don't want to be unprepared if something does come up.
Good question. I would say, Cole, in most cases, it's better to have the proactive conversations up front, get the documents to the advisor. That way, when they're needed, everybody's aware of where they're at. They're already executed, and you can start working on their behalf. You know, really, a power of attorney is just like having insurance. You hope you don't need it, but if you do, it's there. And it's kind of important probably to understand what type of power of attorney your parents have. Is it a durable power of attorney where it goes into effect if something happens, or do you have power of attorney now where you can just start making decisions for them and signing on their behalf? But either way, I think the power of attorney documents, if you have them, get them to your group of, your legal professional has them, your CPA,
Right.
your financial advisor, your bank, get them the documents so they're already on file, they're easy to use, and they're ready when you're going to need them.
Yeah, because it may sneak up on you. I was talking with my buddy Bobby Hansen from Better Business Bureau. He was talking about senior scams and how they're becoming A, more prevalent, B, more complicated, and they're snaring people on the fringes that didn't used to get snared and snared them for some pretty good money. That power of attorney could be something that would avoid, minimize, or mitigate that if you have the ability to check into that. So, Elias, final question for you from Cynthia. I got a financial plan done 8 years ago when I started working with my financial advisor. Keeps asking me to get an update, but I'm not sure it's worth the additional cost. Nothing significant in my life has changed since we did it other than my account balances have grown. How often does a financial plan need to be updated, or should I just wait until something changes?
I think an 8-year-old financial plan sounds like a historical document at that point.
It's in the junk drawer for sure.
Yes.
When in the course of human events?
So I would say the thing to look at here, even if your life hasn't changed dramatically, it's still a good way to check the score and track your overall progress. Because when you did this 8 years ago, you had things you set out to accomplish. So where are you at with those? I like that the advisor's being proactive and wants to update and wants to work on this. So it might need to become important to Cynthia as well to work on it and update it. I don't really know about the additional cost. I mean, I guess if you're paying money every time they update it, the cost is the cost if you want the information.
Because everybody has a different structure the way that they do this whole thing. So it's important to having an understanding of that. But 8 years, boy, I mean, maybe her situation hasn't changed, but the world has changed quite a bit.
Well, she could be way, way farther ahead than she thinks she is.
Yeah. What if the things she set out to do 8 years ago are all done? What if all those things are done?
It might change what she does. I think it's one of the reasons we've adopted the digital format for the financial plan. It's living, breathing. It's really easy to adjust and adapt. It's dynamic, not static.
Yeah.
And, 8 years ago, we probably were 8 years, it seems like a long time, but it's not that long ago. We were using a fully digital financial plan 8 years ago, but 10 years ago we weren't.
Yeah.
10 years ago, we were still binding and printing financial plans. And then if the client said, oh, yeah, well, 62 works. What if I want to go at 61?
You have to
We'll
go
see
back.
you next week.
Okay, yeah,
Where now it's
exactly.
just, oh, they click a button, let's see what happens. And I think our clients have really adopted the idea that once they have this in the system, they want something answered. They can get the answer fairly quickly.
And that's the cool thing, too. You were talking about one of the clients that you had that had a significant change that they wanted to make. And they were like really nervous about it because they're like, okay, what's the percentage we're going to be able to hit our goal when we want?
Yeah.
And you just like, okay, let's go. And you put it in, it game theories it, and just takes care of it. You got 10,000 simulations out there. You run it, and you're like, hey, you can do this.
Yep. That's the beauty of having a digital financial plan.
Right.
And if you're still getting a hard copy written plan, there's nothing wrong with that. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
One's just easier to make spur of the moment decisions and quantify. And honestly, it's kind of fun to play with it.
Yeah.
You know,
It
for
is.
those people with a statistical mind, they think it's kind of cool. And, you know, when one lever gets pulled, it changes something else.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat to see.
But Cynthia, if the person you're working with uses an abacus as their primary adding and subtracting tool, you may want to transition into the 20th century.
That was so politely said.
The 21st century. Premier Investments in Wealth Management. You can stop by the office. You can do it digitally. They're online and they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at premieriwm.com. Click Get Started, answer a few questions, get that one-page Premier Vision document. While you're there on the website, I think that you're going to really like a lot of the downloadable stuff that's there, including the video blogs, the podcasts of these shows. So much more information out there they have for you at premieriwm.com. You can even make your appointment online or do it by calling 800-383-6590. That's 800-383-6590. Premier Investments in Wealth Management named to Forbes 2026 Best in State Wealth Management Team. For Elias Randel, the new sheriff of town, the big kahuna, Roger Abel, my name is Doug Wagner. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again in the very near future.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC. The opinions voiced in this show are for general information purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, and financial or tax advisor prior to investing. Premier Investments in Wealth Management and LPL Financial do not provide specific individualized tax or legal advice. We suggest that you discuss your specific situation with a qualified tax or legal advisor. Rebalancing a portfolio may cause investors to incur tax liabilities and or transaction costs and does not assure a profit or protect against loss. Economic forecasts set forth may not develop as predicted, and there can be no guarantee that strategies promoted will be successful. All performance referenced is historical and is not a guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and cannot be invested into directly. There is no assurance that the techniques and strategies discussed are suitable for all investors or will yield positive outcomes. The purchase of certain securities may be required to affect some of the strategies. Investing involves risks, including possible loss of principal. There is no guarantee that a diversified portfolio will enhance overall returns or outperform a non-diversified portfolio. Diversification does not protect against market risk. Dollar cost averaging involves continuous investment in securities, regardless of fluctuations in price levels. Investors should consider their ability to continue purchasing through periods of low price levels. Such a plan does not assure a profit and does not protect against loss in declining markets. Traditional IRA account owners have considerations to make before performing a Roth IRA conversion. These primarily include income tax consequences on the converted amount in the year of conversion, withdrawal limitations from a Roth IRA, and income limitations for future contributions to a Roth IRA. In addition, if you are required to take a required minimum distribution, RMD, in the year you convert, you must do so before converting to a Roth IRA. Forbes' Best in State Wealth Management Team's ranking was developed by Shook Research and is based on in-person, virtual, and telephone due diligence meetings and a ranking algorithm that includes a measure of each team's best practices, client retention, industry experience, review of compliance records, firm nominations, and quantitative criteria, including assets under management and revenue generated for their firm. Investment performance is not a criterion because client objectives and risk tolerances vary, and advisors rarely have audited performance reports. Shook's research and rankings provide opinions intended to help investors choose the right financial advisor and team, and are not indicative of future performance or representative of any one client's experience. Past performance is not an indication of future results. Neither Forbes nor Shook Research receive compensation in exchange for placement on the ranking. For more information, please see www.shookresearch.com. Shook is a registered trademark of Shook Research, LLC.